today we are going to talk about the past, the parents, the imprints, the holidays. Many times we're excited to go home. We imagine a beautiful gathering. We miss our parents even or siblings when we are, far. And then actually when we arrive, things can happen. We can be triggered, we can be angry, we can be sad or drained, and there are ways to prevent that. I always received more work and emails during this time. The summer is quiet, but then September, October, November, and all the holidays are starting, and the anxiety and stress level is up. And this is our work. When we are doing inner work, many times we want to release imprints, we want to release our past, our traumas, and many times we also need to move to another country or further away to find ourselves, to discover who we really are, to clean ourselves. It's not necessary. And everything I'm going to say today, it's true only for part of you, and part it's not. So just take the things that are relevant for you. When people come to me, they understand that it's not about the parents, it's about the work they need to do. Because even though you had a critical parent, maybe, you are criticizing yourself. So today we'll talk about the inner self. And we had another masterclass after more about other things, about relationship with our parents. But today it's first of all about the relationship with ourselves, why we are so triggered, and what will happen if we understand ourselves better, how we can be more compassionate and forgiving to people around us. So when you start the work, when some people come and say, I have problem with my parents, I know I had a very strict parent, or belittling, or abusive even, and I had trauma at my home. And but some people say, I love my parents. My parents are great and gave me everything I need. It doesn't matter. Again, it's not about the parents. We can't, because then we open up and we discover that many things that you saw at home and you learned at home, it's really inside you. And this is the most important thing, because the parents, you can leave a country, you can move a country. Sometimes parents died and you still carry them with you all the time. Many people say to me, I feel like carrying my parents all the time, even though they're not here. And this is why when we are going home, especially when we are doing inner work and growing and choosing for ourselves, sometimes it's hard. Even small choices like, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to the farmer's market, I'm going to eat organic, and then you come back home and the food that is served is totally different than what you decided to be or to eat. It's not easy. How not to be critical, how not to compare, how not to try to educate. For me, it wasn't easy in the beginning when you start the inner work and you discover so many things. I traveled the world and I wanted to bring it home. And it took me time to understand I can't bring it home. And if I will come as a teacher to my parents, it will not work. I want to be a child. And also, I can be a child only with them. They are my parents. If I will decide to be a teacher to my parents, I will miss something, right? It's something that can be positive. So I'm guiding many students with different backgrounds and different relationship with parents, how to come and breathe a lot and be present and not react so fast, like it's so easy with parents because it was triggered, and just accept. And even sometimes it's possible to see them as people that are suffering many times, or happy or disappointed, or but just people. And then it's easier not to take things personally. So where to start? I have so many things to say. It's such a big subject, and each of you are here listening or here present for different reason. What is happening? Let's start. Maybe you need to think about yourself when you are coming back home. And home can be parents that are alive, or siblings, or family. What do you feel? Do you have anger, frustration? Are you thinking a lot? Do you feel alert? Do you feel that you need to protect yourself more? Do you feel more at ease? at home, like we want home so much, right? We are seeking for home in general. And sometimes we discover home is not where the parents are, but it's painful. And there is always the inner child inside that is longing, to be accepted and to be loved. And then when you come and meet that, what's happening to you? So we'll work today with two levels, the mental and the emotional. The mental, it's easier to do over Zoom, to talk about how to change the mindset in order to suffer less. Because our goal in the inner world is to suffer less, right? To be more calm and happy and see the positive. And the emotional, it's harder to do over Zoom, but I will also give you some guides, a guideline or direction, how you can clean your pain body and be less triggered. Okay, so I don't believe they're perfect parents, this for sure. I'm not a perfect parent. I have two kids, and I'm sure I train people every year to do my work. Amir is one of them, and other people I trained. And I'm sure my kids will need to go to you one day, Amir, because no parents is perfect. We are doing the best we can, but each child is different, and we are learning during parenting, right? And we all make mistakes. So I never heard a woman say, I want to be like my mom. Never. Maybe because people that come to me needs work, but I never met a man saying, I want to be like my dad. And I don't want my kids to be like me. I want them to be better every generation, right? To upgrade. And life is changing and everything is changing. So it's okay because sometimes we have guilt to think negatively about our parents. It's okay. I want my kids to know that I'm in progress. When I sometimes make mistake with them or not saying the right thing, and my kids are very, very sensitive, of course, I'm saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm still learning to be your mom. I'm doing my best. We are right. We are a human being in in progress and journey and the process will never end. It will never end. So it's complicated to be a parent, and it's so challenging to be a kid. Think about you as a kid. Did you feel understood? What did you learn about life, about school, about marriage, about relationship? I have a class, I call it the imprints, and we go into 20 very, very important subjects. And we understand what did we learn from the mirrors, the parents and the mother and the father, or sometimes one, we have only one or two mothers, but basically with the people that the first people that we saw and the people we saw the most, sometimes grandparents, what did we learn from them? And the kid is like a sponge, like looking for answers in a small circle that we call family. And then we learn, and the kid doesn't, have this ability to say, I want this, I don't want that. Totally open. What do I learn about myself? I'm equal what? I'm a gift, I'm a troublemaker, I'm a prince, I'm a princess, I'm heir. What we learn so many things from our parents in the first few years, right? And some of them weren't really positive because they suffered. It's not their fault. They suffered. And this suffering is moving from generation to generation. I think first thing we need to clean ourselves from is the blame. In the beginning, when we are young, we blame our parents. We're angry, right? Teenagers are angry and not so nice many times. Believe me, I have one that is starting to be a teenager. I can say, oh, interesting, hormones, anger, a new animal is in our home. And anger, and you need to rebel. It's good to rebel. I'm happy that kids can find their voice, find their way. But for parents, it's hard. And and then you go into the world and you see you don't have all the tools. You blame yourself, you belittle yourself. But the first thing to understand is not to blame the parents because they also have their own minds that they receive from their parents. So basically, it's so complicated. If we start to blame them, we don't really understand that not everybody are able to change. In the beginning, when I started to inner work and to become a teacher, I was so excited. I believe that everyone can change. I really believe if I did it, everyone can do it. I was very, very naive. And sometimes I try to teach people that don't want to learn from me or don't want to learn at all. And I discovered it took me time to let go and to say, no, some people in my family that I love so much will not change. Some people in the circle of my friends back home will not do the work, and it's totally okay. And many times when I ask something small to change, like, can you just change that? For them, it means to go deep into their soul and to do the work and to start meditation, to clear their mind. It's just not possible to do it in now, maybe later. I'm still very optimistic. But some people will never change in this lifetime, and it's okay. The Buddha talked about sand in the eyes. Some people are born with a lot of sand, they are blind, and they will stay blind. And also, this is why he said, I'm walking in the world with half a smile. Why half a smile? Because there is suffering, and there will always be suffering. Maybe not always, again, I'm optimistic. But for now, a lot of suffering and people that suffer. So when you're coming back home and your parent is suffering, basically, stress from things she needs to cook or he needs to cook, um, judging you, comparing you, parents are doing that, comparing you to other people, they are in deep suffering. They're afraid. Many parents are basically parenting through fear. I would criticize her if she will be better. It's by the way, it's not working usually. It's the opposite. But they don't know. They don't know. When I started the work and understand some of my family members, and again, I will not go into specific because probably they will hear this masterclass, will stay like that. Will stay anxious or stressed or critical. Such a relief. Such a relief. It's perfect as it is. Not imagining something better, not hoping again and again for something to change and then disappointment and sadness. Wow, such a relief to accept and to surrender to the imperfect, a holiday, to the imperfect moment. And then how can I help myself? And we'll talk about that and recharge and not suffer as I can. Every thought that you have with expectation will bring you suffering. If you have expectations or idea how the holiday should be and the reality, it will be two different things. The gap, I don't know, depends on your personality and the family, how far it is. But every expectation will create suffering. So the best will be, first of all, is not to blame, to understand. You don't need to blame yourself. You don't need to blame others because it is what it is, and change is hard. We're doing the best we can. It's not the best. It's never the best. Like, I don't believe in perfect. I really don't. Perfection is dead. We're alive. No relationship is perfect. Nothing is perfect. You're not supposed to be. Nature is not perfect, and it's perfect in the same time. So just releasing expectations, releasing ideas, such a gift, such a gift. So no guilt, no blame, and no expectations. And then you come there and you enjoy the small things. It's always good. There was always something you love to eat. You don't need to prove yourself. And this is a lot about your relationship with yourself. And this is what I want to talk about today. Understanding that the parents you will not change. And then working with yourself. The end goal that many people arrive to is very sweet. I have one student that his imprints from his parents are really hard. His father was crushing him, like when they did homework together, really crushing his confidence, like wanting to feel better than his son. There are many parents like that. And his mother, high suffering, really interesting person. And it took him time. Every time he saw his parents, he was angry, he was frustrated, he lashed out. Very extreme situation. Today, he's enjoying coming to home. He got to a place. I told him, you want to be a kid, you have a few more years to be a kid because they will die right before you, and we don't know when they will die. What do you want to enjoy? What can you enjoy from? When I'm coming home, many times my mom massage my leg. She's really good in touch. Now it's the opposite. I'm taking care of her more. But before, such a beautiful, pure moment with no words, because no words can, can be also negative. Just to touch. And I want you to think, what are the two or three things? Maybe there are even eating the cheesecake that you really love to eat as a kid. Only your mom can make it in the way it will remind you home. Something small to come back to your old room, or to see a friend, where you grew up, or go to a tree you love to sit under. Really small things. I'm sure that you have two or three things that you still love there, and maybe more. Again, I don't know who is listening, and everybody are different. And focus on that, and we can do it. And this is the end goal. Just focus on that, because we don't have a lot of time. We don't know, how long they will be here. So when I say we don't know how long they will be here, many people use it, and then they comply, the parents. They don't put boundaries. They don't protect themselves. We don't want to go there, but we don't know, how long they will be here. Is there a few things you can enjoy and focus on? I also teach people how to change contract with parents, how to talk to them in a positive way and ask not to criticize or not to do big things like that. Many times it will not help. Many times, again, we don't know if they will change or not, but it's good to try. Why? And we'll talk about that more next webinar about families and holidays. But why to try for yourself? You are trying to do the best you can with your parents, and then you let go. No expectations. Some will take it, some will not. I remember when I traveled the world and I called home. I traveled for 10 years, and I called every Friday, and my father said, when are you coming back? It's not easy, because in this short sentence there is so much emotions and pain, and I said, but when you start a conversation like that, I don't want to continue. Don't want to ask me about my week, my travel, people I met, what did I learn. You don't want to know what I'm going through. If you start like that, I just feel like I don't want to talk for long. And I explained it to him. It make me like a bit sad, and then I don't want to continue. Let's start differently. Maybe you cannot ask you when I'm coming back. And I don't know, magically, he stopped doing that. And it worked. But this is something small. You can really train your parents. When you say that, I feel small, I feel sad. And maybe it will change, maybe not. So next time we'll talk more about how to change the contract and how to do it in a positive way. And after that, release expectations. But today I also want to talk about taking responsibility of ourselves. The things that are still triggering for you when you come home, it means it's alive within you. If it's not alive within you, it will not bother you. So even, let's say, if you change the way you eat, maybe there is a part of it that still want to eat like that, and you have inner struggle. If not, you don't care. I eat like that, and freedom for everyone to eat whatever they want, right? If you learn to stop criticize yourself, and you are kind to yourself, no one can criticize you. It's just words. This is amazing, because it's coming and going. Sometimes you take it in and learn and grow, but you don't take it in a negative way. If you are not hurting yourself, no one can hurt you. No one. Maybe sometimes anger, a wave of anger can come, or sadness, and we work with that, but not deeply hurt. So the most of the work we need to do with our mind, understanding that the mind was trained to do so many things from your parents that you don't want anymore. And then when you come home, it's a big mirror how much work you did. When I was traveling the world and I came home, I knew exactly if I have more work to do. 10 years. So I went back to do the work. It took me time because I felt, oh, I'm still triggered. I'm still, suffering. I have more work to do. But when you are done with the big stones, with the big things, so there is only love and acceptance and compassion because you did work that they can't or they're not doing, and you're the one that is strong. You're the one that is powerful. You're the one that is aware. Only compassion and love. I wish for them they will do it as well. I wish for them to be happy, not to criticize themselves, not to be anxious, like I was and like they are. So, so the work is necessary. Okay, the way we do the work is we work with the mind and with the heart, with the mental and with the emotional. The emotional we cannot do over Zoom, and usually you cannot do by yourself. There is the pain body that remembers. Even if you train your mind to be a friend and not a judge or a jailer and a policeman, just a friendly mind. Let's say you did that, and it's possible. It's possible. Um, Sometimes the body remembers, and you try to tell to yourself, be positive, don't lash out. I want a good relationship with my mom, but you see your mom, she's moving something or she's doing something, and boom, you are already like angry, frustrated, annoyed, and you cannot stand that. And it means the pain body remembers. Every time you felt afraid, it's in your body. You felt anger and you didn't protect yourself, it's in your body. You felt sadness and you didn't cry, it's in your body. And this is beautiful work that we call somatic work. And it's possible to do it in all kind of session around the world. And with me, it's breath work on the retreats, the meeting in person, and working with the pain body. This is so beautiful because you bypass your mind and you work only with your body and you change and you release without really analyzing. You just release the body, release the tension. And this is necessary. It's not enough to understand. Some people go to therapy and they understand, make peace with their past. And it's beautiful. They make peace with the past. They talk about their trauma, even the ability to talk about it, to understand it, and then to make peace, but they still feel so triggered when they come home. It's because the pain body the heart carries still, and the heart didn't forgive. Even if your mind forgive and you forgive your parents and you understand everything I said, and you are compassionate in your mind to them, and you breathe a lot, and you see the beauty, and you train your mind, sometimes it's physical. And you're saying, what just happened? Why? It's not connected to the situation. The situation was small. Okay, I understand why I'm annoyed, but why like this? Right? Because the past lived in our body. And there are many techniques around the world to release the pain body. And then it's really like new. Without that, I wouldn't be able to be peaceful and to love my parents so much like I love them now. And it was very surprising when my father told me a few years ago that he is sick. And I had a lot of history and things. I had to work a lot around my relationship with my father. I was so sad and I felt so much love, genuine love. And I was like, oh my gosh, you love your father very much. You forgive him. And it came from the heart, right? So this work is necessary, somatic work. And then you feel peaceful. Sometimes still draining. It's okay. If your family, I call it high suffering, if you have a family member that is always complaining about life, even not about you, but let's say you meet a family member or few in the holiday and they complain about their life, about their job, about their friends, the partner. You are drained. You are very, very tired after. This we cannot help with because it's energy. When you are meeting somebody excited and happy that loves life, you are full with energy, right? So the energy level we cannot really help you with. You will be drained if you have people like that in your family. But then how you take care of yourself is important. So when my students go back home, we prepare. You don't just go home. you you really come with intention. You really ask, like, pray and ask from yourself to take all your tools and to remember all your tools that you have in order to have a beautiful holiday for yourself, because you want to give this gift for yourself. So we breathe a lot, we take breaks. It's so important when you come to the holiday to take a break, to go to another room, to go for a walk, to take somebody from the family that you love and to walk with them for an hour after dinner, to really be connected to your body and to your energy level, and see when you are going into drain, mode, just before you want to go to bed, you want to go to see a friend, you want to go to nature, you want to take a bath. Because if you go to drain and you're totally drained, it will be very hard to not to lash out. It will be very hard to hold yourself. For awareness, we need energy. So those things will help you to stay sane and even enjoy. I have two meditation online in YouTube, 1 minute meditation and labeling meditation in my YouTube channel, and those meditation are very helpful. The 1 minute you can do every minute during the holiday, during the meeting, during the evening, and the labeling will help you to train your mind. We need to practice. The mind is trained to think in a certain way, and we want to practice to work with the mind, to change, to decide what to think about. If you are there and suddenly you think about negative things, or you think too much about the past, or again you expect or judge or blame, pure suffering. So the labeling meditation, it's a very easy meditation. It will help you to decide what to think about. Priya Glikman, it's easy to find, so I'm not sharing even in the chat. The emotional body, if you are here, it means, or you are listening to the recording, it means that you carry some pain from your past. Everybody carry pain, and it means you are longing for a beautiful holidays, but it's not always like that. Or you just like Amir came to see me, I don't know. But if you have some work to do, and you feel what I said before, that it's more than thinking, that your mind is positive relatively, but your body carry pain, then you need to do somatic work. And you're invited to my retreat, or I do once a month in the pad in San Francisco breath work, and you release. Or many people again are doing somatic work. Every time you hear somatic, it means it's not with the words, it's not with words, it's with the body. And the body needs attention, the pain body, to release and to feel healthy again. It's like a rebirth of the body. There is technique that we call rebirthing by Dr. Janov that I teach people to do. And this is a beautiful book, The Primal Scream, that I always recommend to read. Primal Scream by Dr. Janov. Yesterday, one of my students said, "I know her for 3 years. I'm reading it now. It's amazing," and it's true. It's explaining everything you need about somatic work, why to do it, and then you understand that only talking about your problems and your parents and your child will not help. It will not be the complete healing process. So I really recommend that as well. I want to open to question. I know it's already 12. Oh my gosh, I can talk for hours. I want to open a little bit for questions soon. It will not be recorded because it's more interesting for me. I hear myself all the time. And I want to hear you. I said things generally, everybody are different. So I hope you will take whatever you can to the next holiday and to choose to do it differently. And it will not be perfect. And sometimes you will be angry and you will be sad. Forgive yourself. Again, we are in a journey, but just to have the intention to suffer less, this is amazing. It means that you are a person of light. You are aware that you understand we can make change and we can grow. So I'm thanking you so much for doing this work. We need more people like you in this world that are longing for inner freedom and sharing this light and compassion with others.